Alright, hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Overwatch 2 video. So in today's video, I'm going to do a little tier list for you guys. Now, I want to make a little tier list for you guys. Now, I want to make some points real quick. So I'm recording this on May 4th, so I have no idea whether or not there are any buffs and nerfs. I haven't played the game in 2 days. I haven't really checked on it. So I don't know of any buffs and nerfs. This is from my personal experience. And by the end of the video, I actually do have some suggestions on how they can actually change a few heroes. So a few things I want to note. S tier basically means they're obviously the best of the best. A tier means they're very strong. B tier is playable. C is niche. And D tier, I think they're outright bad and need some help. So I'm not going to do it in any particular order. I'm just going to essentially grab. Now, if I pick a hero and I haven't really seen them a lot, I will be honest. So the first hero I want to talk about is Soldier. Soldier, I feel like is the first. Soldier, I feel like is actually. She's relatively strong. I say she's definitely A tier. I think her rail cannon everything's pretty much circled around her rail cannon. It's a pretty insane ability. The ability to one-shot people is crazy. She has a very good mobility. She has an extremely good mobility. She can get to high ground very easily. And I think there's actually a tech to where you can actually get more vertical height if you jump jump before the slide. So she's actually pretty insane. The reason why I wouldn't say she's an S tier is because, again, she is, I'd say, rather difficult to use. I haven't talked about her energy field. Her energy field is actually a pretty cool ability. I think it does like 200 damage and it slows people. I think it's pretty strong. Her ultimate, allowing you to charge that rail cannon up, is pretty insane too. I mean, even if you're pretty bad, I'd say you should be able to get at bare minimum 1 kill. I think you should be able to. I think Soldier's good, but there is a reason why I'm not putting her in S tier, because I do believe there are a few characters better than her. Let's move on to a tank. I want to talk about Roadhog. I think Roadhog is actually pretty. I unfortunately think he's pretty bad. I mean, his damage is really cool. He has really good damage. He has a lot of health, and he has really good. I say he has a pretty decent CC. I'd say he has one of the best CCs in the game. Like one of the best hard stuns in the game, where he can just drag people in and just get easy picks. My issue with Hog is that, unlike pretty much every other tank in the game, he has nothing to protect himself from damage. He has to just soak himself up. He has to just soak up damage. And they expect the heal to be more than enough, but it's just too easy to cancel. Simply just having like Doomfist just punches him out and he's done for. Arisa can throw her javelin and then that's it. Zen can just discord. Sombra can hack. There's just so many ways you can counter. And simply just shooting Hog, I mean, honestly, it's just not enough. And I haven't even talked about Ana, but Hog just can't he just does not catch a break. He just gets killed. I don't really like Hog. Like I said, I do have some buffs and nerfs I do have in mind on how to help them. Ana, I'm going to say, is A tier. Ana's really good. I think Ana's really good. Very high risk, high reward. Few things I don't like about her is that she's kind of you really have to know what you're doing as Ana, and the thing I don't like about her is, one, her sleep dart got nerfed slightly down to 2. It has a 15-second cooldown, which isn't the worst per se, but it is a noticeable effect. It's gotten me killed multiple times, and it could be a tricky ability to land. The problem is with her abilities. The problem with her is that you have to really choose whether or not you want to use your abilities to be offensive or defensive. If you use them for defensive purposes, like to save yourself, then you're kind of like just a heal bot after that. Well, you're not a heal bot per se, but I mean, you are defending yourself, but then again, you're also not, now without those abilities, you're not making the game-winning plays that Ana's can make with her offensive antis and her offensive sleeps. Again, it's pick and choose. She could be very strong, but I think that that decision alone really kind of knocks her down. I can't put her in S tier. I think she is better than B tier. I think she is better than B tier, simply the fact that for one thing, she does have actually good damage. She does 70 damage per shot now, so she could really just stay back, and if your team doesn't need healing, you actually can do a lot of damage. I've gotten multiple picks playing as Ana, and I get to stay back. The new mechanic where she gets 15 seconds, 15 health per second without taking damage, is actually crazy now, because I don't have to essentially use my anti-nade anymore on myself. So I think she's very good there. I think I want to go over an S tier hero. Soldier is S tier. I think everything worked out everything, the way the game played out, everything worked out for Soldier. He doesn't have a second, there's no second tank anymore to harass him on high ground. There's no more second shield blocking his damage. He can just go on the high ground with his sprint ability. He just mows you down. He can heal himself. He has his sprint to escape, and he has pretty good burst damage with his Helix rocket, and his ultimate is also really good now. I think this game, everything worked out extremely well for him. I just think he's very good. He's really strong right now. I think he's probably the best DPS in the game. Just nothing can stop him. Like, back in the original Overwatch, what you would do to counter him if he's ever on high ground, you could realistically just kind of send one person, like a diva or something, to harass him, or just play double shield. That's not the case anymore. Like, if D.Va leaves the front line, for example, then that's it. Your team doesn't have a frontline tank, so your backline's now exposed. Soldier's just really strong in this game. Like I said, everything just worked out for him perfectly. Another hero. So, I'll be honest, I haven't seen nor played a lot of Sig. I just haven't seen it. So where I'm going to put him again, this could easily be he could easily be A tier. Hell, he could be S tier. I don't know where he is actually, because like I said, I haven't seen enough Sig. So to be perfectly safe, I'm going to go by what he has, and I will put him in the A tier. I will put him in A. So the reason why I think he's an A, well, for one, he has two really good forms of protection. He has his kinetic grasp, and he has a shield. Two very safe forms of protection. He has a very good CC. He has He has pretty decent medium poke range, like medium poke, and he has a 200. He got his 200 damage burst combo back, and I think his ultimate is really good too. The thing I can really see why people don't like Sig is because he's pretty slow, and he functions really well with double shield, and obviously that's not a thing anymore. I don't know. Like I said, I think on paper, Sig is actually very good, but in practice, I don't know. You can, like I said, if you guys have experience on how Sig is, please modify him. Like I said, I think he's still pretty good. Zenyatta, I'm putting Zenyatta in the C tier. And the thing is, hypothetically, I think in any game, like pretty much Zenyatta's always been that character. Like he could be S tier, he could be A tier, he could be B tier. I mean, well, he can't really, like, he has the potential to be S tier. Like the game, it seems like it's made for Zen. He can do a lot of damage, and his Discord orbs allow all teammates to do like 30% extra damage towards a singular target to get picks. However, in this game, holy crap, there are just so many things that can flank and go after him, and he doesn't have any abilities to really protect himself. Honestly, you could make the case he's D tier, because let me tell you, man, if someone like Fitzy is here, like, you honestly have to sign a contract to play Overwatch 2 as a Zenyatta. Like, the contract is, if Fitzy is here or any other competent Sombra is on the enemy team, you have to get a tattoo on your left butt cheek that says freaking property of Sombra when you play. Zen just gets countered so easily. He could get harassed by... Sombra, Tracer, Genji now harasses him pretty well. Pretty much all of his old guys are there to harass him. But the thing is, he doesn't have, like, you can't play Brig anymore to really protect him. Brig doesn't have his flash. You only have really one tank now, so you don't have a secondary tank to peel for him. He just gets harassed and killed in this game. If the enemies are not trying to counter you, I'll be real, I think he's S tier. I think he could be S. But man, if you get shut down, he's almost unplayable. If you get countered, he's almost unplayable. So I'm going to go with kind of the middle ground and say C tier. Let's see here. Other characters in this game. Let's talk about Zarya. So from my experience, I think Zarya is actually... let me actually rank these... yeah, you know, no specific rank. I'm just placing like this because I don't know. I really like Zarya in this game. I think she has a lot more options on what she wants to do. You could be more of a defensive Zarya, like protecting your team, and I think that's really strong. Or she could be a very strong offensive Zarya, and what's it called with that? She could be a very strong offensive Zarya with having two bubbles. Like, it really, like, she really controls the tempos of fights now. Oh, sorry guys, allergies. But she can really control the tempo of fights now. I think it's absolutely nuts what she can... I think it's absolutely crazy what she can do. I think one thing I saw her do, like against a really good Zarya player, is back in the original Overwatch. What you would do as an Ana player is you would wait for her bubble to get anti, but she faked me out, so I waited her first bubble, and I completely forgot about the second bubble, and she killed me for that. I think that's very strong. The ability for her to use two bubbles, how she wants to bubble herself, but unfortunately, I do feel like that's the problem with Zarya is that when you the reason I don't really want to put her in S tier is because of the fact that if you use both your bubbles say on yourself, then your backline is complete. Then your backline doesn't really have too much protection. But if you use the bubbles on your teammates, then you really can't you're not going to really build the energy you really want. But you can protect your team. It's really just pick and choose what you want. All right. Widowmaker, I'm gonna say is A tier. I've seen some Widow seems to be, she seems to be a very good choice. I've been wrecked by really good Widowmakers, especially like she really dictates like positioning is already extremely important in Overwatch 2 without the use of a second shield or tank, but it's even more important than ever now because if you position wrong, this Widow gets easy picks. It's risky sometimes for your tanks to go up there and try to harass her. You could send some, really, the only reliable counter really to a Widow is to have your own Widow to try to duel her. But at times, it could be like a team effort. I think Widow's pretty strong right now. But obviously, you have to be good with Widow. So I'm kind of okay with her being in the A tier right now. Ball, I'm going to say I haven't played enough Ball. I'll be real, I haven't played enough Balls, so I couldn't really say if he's good or bad, nor if I actually played enough against Ball to say he is good or bad. So, Hanzo seems okay. He seems okay. I mean, he always has that one shot potential that he can always do, which is pretty nice. But the reason why I prefer Widows is because she can stay farther back and she's hit scan. He's projectile, so he has to kind of lead his shots a little bit. He's very good at the idea of he's very good at shredding tank shields. He has his storm arrows. It got nerfed a little bit, but I still think he's pretty good. Not as good as Widow, so that's why I kind of put him in the B tier. Let's see, who else do I have? Baptiste, I'm gonna say is B tier again. He's very playable. The thing is, in this game, you kind of want to play more spread out, so it can be a little difficult at times for Baptiste to kind of splash multiple people with his secondary fire. I still think he's good though. He could still quite a bit of damage. His Ant Matrix is still good. His Immortality is still a very good ability. He still has a very nice. He has pretty good self healing with his Regenerative Burst. All in all, I still think he's very good, and in the right situations, he could definitely be better. But for now, I say he's definitely B tier. I say he's a B tier character. Arisa, I'm gonna put in S tier. I really, and I think this is just for me seeing Arisa's. I really like Arisa. I think she's fun as hell. I mean, for one, she's fun as hell. Two, I think the way they reworked her is so good. She does quite a bit of she could do quite a bit of damage. She's really a good frontline tank. She has a good javelin. I think everything about Arisa is really strong. But I actually don't think she's overbearingly strong, but I think she's just like good the way she is. Like I said, I think it's just seeing good Arisa players. It's really fun to watch them. So I'm gonna put her in S tier for that. But I don't know. You could interchange her, obviously. Doomfist, I'm gonna say is A tier. I do like Doomfist. I think he's still, again, I think him and Arisa definitely have the most playtime in this game. I think his changes are very good. He's extremely mobile. He could be very difficult to kill. He has pretty good ability. He has pretty good, okay burst damage. He has obviously good CC. His ultimate is still get out of free. He builds shield up, and he can actually build his damage up so he can return back to his old Doomfist ways. And what's so good is that his rocket punch hits multiple people. I think that's pretty good. It can really help him disrupt the battlefield even more. I think Doomfist is a pretty good choice. I think he's a pretty good choice here. Thing is, he does, I mean, just like in the original Overwatch, he does get hard countered by CC, but there's not much of it anymore, so he doesn't have to worry about it too much. So I think he's a pretty decent A tier. You know what? I'm really not sure. Like I said, I'm gonna move Sigma down to B. Like I said, if you guys think he's good, then then yeah, cool. If you guys think he's good. Ashe, I haven't seen too much of Ashe around. I haven't seen too much of Ashe really, and I haven't seen too much of Ashe, but I think she's still pretty good. But on paper, I played her like once, and she still feels pretty nice. I mean, she has pretty nice mobility with her, with her coach gun. Her dynamite does quite a bit of damage, and it's a pretty good counter to supports because obviously with the continuous burn, they can't heal. So you canceled out their healing. Oh, sorry about that. She has very good burst. I think she also has very good. She has good burst damage with a gun, pretty good poke damage. But in that aspect, from what I've seen, I think the reason why I've seen Widow more popular is because she gets guaranteed one-shots if you hit them in the head on squishy heroes. I actually need to put a few bullets in, and they might have enough time to actually get away. So I think that's why people that's why I think I've seen more Widowmaker than Ashe. I mean, Bob is a very good ultimate. I don't know what your guys' experience is, but I tend typically avoid Bob. But I've been typically avoiding him. And I think Bob is strong. It's basically a 6v5 when he's out. But I don't know. I don't feel like it's enough to bring her up to A tier, but still think she's very playable. Cassidy. I think he's A tier. I think he's extremely fun to play. He's fun and very good. He has very good he has insane burst damage. Ever since, like, taking away his flashbang, people were wondering, oh, what are they going to give him? Yeah, how about we give... Yeah, I'm not sure how... I think that might need to be changed. Giving him that freaking grenade, that magnetic grenade, if you guys don't know, it does 130 damage. What McCree's can do now is that they can roll towards you, body shot, throw the grenade, and then you're dead. That is insane. I think he's really strong for that. I think the reason why I can't put him really up in S tier is due to the fact that he can be vulnerable like usual. And again, he can be a little vulnerable, and he doesn't have that good long range. He's really good for mid range, but all in all, I still think he's still a very good hero. But like I said, I mean, if you're not on Soldier, I mean, like, I don't think I could put him. I don't think he's in the same tier as Soldier. Not at all. So I think he's very good in the A tier. So I think A tier is good for him. Torb, I feel like I haven't played enough Torb nor seen enough Torb yet, I'll be honest. I think he's a solid B tier pick. He seems pretty solid. I mean, his turret is just as annoying as ever. His Molten Core is still definitely as good as ever. But I don't know. I feel like there are just better things. I just feel like there are better picks than him. Honestly, you could make the case if you want. You could put him in C tier, but I digress. I still think he's pretty decent. Like, definitely not horrible to play, but not great at the same time. Sombra. Sombra, I'm going to say, is pretty strong. I'm going to say she's pretty strong. She is definitely A tier. She is kind of like the bane of most support heroes' like existence. The ability for her to do 40% extra damage really shuts down quite a bit of support heroes. She can really just kill anything. And it's still like a 1 second silent, I believe. So it could really kind of just shut down crucial abilities for a little while. I think she's very... and the fact is that you can't really cancel her hack anymore. I think she's very strong. I think she's pretty strong. S tier? I don't think so. Let's see. Who else do I have? From what I've seen... Moira is definitely... Moira and Lucio. I'm just going to put these two up in S tier right now. Same thing. I feel like let's see, Moira, she does quite a bit of damage. She can really dual DPSs. Her orbs allow her to do quite a bit of damage, and she can really just keep herself alive alongside the 15-second heal, which if you guys probably already know already. It works with the Fade ability. It works with Fade. So she's nuts for that. She has so much survivability. Coalescence is such a great ultimate. I easily think she's S tier. She's probably one of the only non-diveable healers, and that's what makes her so valuable. She could just stay alive, do damage. She could just stay alive, do damage, do so much healing. Lucio is kind of in the same boat as Moira, but I think he's actually a little bit better in terms of damage. If you're really good as Lucio, you could just displace people. You could be a bastard and a half to hit, and he could do quite a bit of damage too. Like he can quite easily 1v1 people. Like 1v1 some DPSs. So, all in all, I think he's pretty strong. I think he's S tier. If you wanted to, you know what? Here's what I'll do. Yeah, I could do this. I could put him in A tier. I don't mind. Genji, no, let's go over Genji later. Mercy, I'm definitely gonna say B tier. I do like Mercy in this game. Well, she hasn't really changed that. There's really nothing too different. I mean, the one thing is she does heal a lot more now thanks to the additional passive she got. Her damage boost is really, really strong in this game. Her res ability is even more important than ever. But I don't know. I mean, I know Mercy could take a lot. Mercy takes a lot of skill to play, and I know she could be very good. I don't know, dude. I just never enjoyed playing Mercy. I feel like you just play other heroes. I don't know. Mercy's just boring. I mean, you could easily make a case for her to be an A tier, but to be quite frank, I don't know, dude. I'm keeping her in the B tier for now. Let's see. Who else do we have here? Who do I want next? Okay, yeah, we'll go over Genji one. Genji, I'm gonna say is a pretty good hero. Genji, I'm gonna say is a pretty good hero now. I'm gonna say he's actually very playable. Again, you can actually really argue he's an A tier. I mean, he's definitely A tier when he's comboed with Ana, but I don't know. I mean, I think Genji is, like I said, he's still very good, but he just doesn't have any kind of recovery. He has pretty decent burst damage. I think Genji's very good now because nowadays he doesn't have to deal with a lot of burst healing from like Baptiste, like a lot of AoE healing anymore. There's still heroes in the game that can really still, like, he has a hard time killing Moira and Lucio, but when he gets that Dragon Blade up, he is vicious. Especially, like I said, he just realistically needs to go in and get a kill and get out. I think that's very good. I think he's very good. I think he's good in that aspect. So, we'll put him in the B tier. Mei, I'm actually going to say is in B tier. Mei seems to be still pretty good in this game. Her Ice Wall, think of it as like a barrier now. Like, you could either use it as like another barrier or, you know, block people in like what she traditionally does. I think her primary fire now not having the freezing effect, it still slows people down, which is still quite frankly very strong. I mean, it's still very strong. People can you could call for your team now to help you focus them down. She can't really get she can still get solo kills, but I think she just really slows people down. Like, her real role is now to slow people down, and you call for your team, and your team can really help kill them. I think Mei's still very good. Her ultimate's still very good. I think she's pretty average. I think she's still B tier. I think she's relatively good. Starting to run out. Winston, I'm gonna say is C tier. Again, I haven't seen enough Winstons around. I mean, the one cool thing is that he has his, I was watching one of Flats' videos about this, and it seemed really cool. He has a new burst damage combo where you can hold down right shift, right click, you can shoot them, land on top, and melee. It seems very cool that they gave him this burst damage. I don't even want to imagine what it can do with Zenyatta's, ability, what it can do with his Discord. But the reason why I put him in C tier is, again, he's still very specific here. He's still very specific. Yeah, he's just very specific still. I mean, you really do if you have to run certain heroes with him, probably like a Tracer, Sombra, some divey heroes that can really help him out. He can't really go in anymore. It's kind of risky for him to jump in by himself because he doesn't have the second tank to go in with him. I still think he can be very good. Like I said, you can even make the argument that he's in B tier. But for now, I think he does need quite a bit of support to actually play. So I'm going to keep him down here. Bastion, I'm going to say is definitely niche again. I mean, do I really? You know what? I'm going to put him in B. You know what? I think he's... Do I want to put him in B tier? Do I? Yeah, you know what? I'll leave him in B tier. I think Bastion's pretty... I've seen Bastion. I've been playing against quite a bit of Bastions, and he can be a little tricky. His mobile... sometimes, I think this is just more a fact that it's a new change. It throws me off sometimes when I try to throw a sleep dart at him or try to hit him. He just dodges me. He could dodge my sleep dart now. In his turret form, it does quite a bit of damage. Especially if he gets high ground, he could be very dangerous. His grenade is a nice little boost for him. Oh, sorry about that. His artillery ultimate seems really, really cool and really somewhat difficult. Looks pretty difficult to dodge. It could really hit the slow heroes. So yeah, you know what? I am going to put him in B tier. I think he is pretty decent in this game. Let's see, who else? Brigitte. No, actually, we'll do Brigitte later. Junkrat, I'm definitely going to say C tier. He can definitely be strong in certain scenarios in a map, again, where it's more close, in a closed-off map. I think he could be very good. But people play more separate in this game now. People play more split up. People aren't really grouping up anymore because it's 5v5. I think he's pretty, everyone's trying to make plays. I think he can be good in, like I said, in enclosed areas, but he's very, very map. He's always been map-dependent, but I think it's even more relevant than ever now that he is map-dependent. Let's see. No. Who do I want to pick? Where do I want Diva? Where do I want Diva? I should have really put like A tier, like A plus, B plus. I should have put all that. Okay, but let's go over Tracer. Tracer is pretty good. I think she's she's definitely. I think she's A tier. I think she's very good. Again, there's less CC in the game. She doesn't have to worry about a shield bash anymore. She doesn't have to worry about McCree. Oops. She doesn't have to worry about Cassidy stuns anymore. She doesn't have to worry about Mei freezes anymore, like completely freezing her anymore. There's just quite a bit of stuff she doesn't have to worry about anymore. I think she's again, she just goes in. Oh my god, this poor Zen, dude. If they're running both Tracer and Sombra, oh my god, it's just not fun. Like, she hacks you and you just can jump on Zen. This game just bullies Zen. But her pulse bomb, very good. She just realistic. I mean, getting a stick can still be difficult, but you know, you get a stick, you're pretty much good. That's a guaranteed pick. I think she's gonna be pretty good. She's pretty good. All right, let's see who else now. Echo. I'd say Echo's very good. I think they actually toned her down quite a bit. I think 5v5 kind of hurt her. I mean, for one thing, her ultimate charge is really, really slow now because of the fact that there's no secondary tank for her to just shoot and build off her ult charge. And now when she ults, she actually only gets 300 HP now, which I think is a good change. I think it's a great change for her. Those are pretty much the two reasons why. I still think she's a strong assassin. She could really just burst people down without them knowing. But the thing is, in this game, from what I've experienced in going up against Echo players, since as an Ana player, I can really now just spend quite a bit of time. As long as my teammates don't get too damaged, I can typically heal them. I can keep them up. And if I see all my teammates are at half, I can pretty much harass Echo whenever I want as Ana. So honestly, I don't feel like Echo's too much of a problem in this game. I think she's actually very balanced. I think she's very good in the position I think she's pretty good there. Reinhardt, I'm actually gonna say playable. I actually know. I know some people think. Well, actually, nah. I don't know. Let me leave that out. Well, I'm not gonna leave it out. I'll keep it in. But I like Rein. I do like Rein. I do like Rein. He has a good shield. I mean, he doesn't really have a CC. I mean, he has his charge ability, which can be stunned, so I guess that can be CC. He has 2 Fire Strikes, and Earth Shatter has always been a very strong ability. I actually do like Rein. Rein. You know, he seems to be a very decent hero. He seems to be a very decent hero. The thing is, you really need to run. If you want to make him really good, he really needs a Lucio now. He really needs a Lucio to back him up, so he can actually run in and out. All in all, I still think Rein is. I mean, you can play Rein. I still think he's okay. Not the best, not the worst. Let's see who else. Symmetra. Where do I want Symmetra? This is Okay, but back. Okay, never mind. All right, let's not even focus. So Reaper, I'm actually going to put in the B tier. I think he's good. I think he is pretty good. He's definitely a great tank buster. He can definitely be a great tank buster, and he could be very good at flanking people, like, and all that. But reason why I kind of just don't. Reason why I don't like him is because I don't know. He's just not as speedy. I'd say he's not as fast as Tracer or Sombra. I think Sombra can just do like much more, like catch people off guard even more because you can be invisible. Tracer's got the one clipping. I don't know. I just don't think Reaper's as strong as these two. I mean, honestly. You could make the case that he's A tier because he could really fight on the front lines and mess up like the Doomfist. He could mess up Arisa. He could pretty much mess up any tank that he wants to. So if you want, you could make the case that he's A tier. But for now, like I said, the thing is, I think I've run to a few Reapers, but typically it's these two that I'm running into when it comes to flankers. I'm running more into these two. So we'll put Reaper down here in B tier. Let's see. Diva is I want to say A or S tier. What do I want? You know what? I'm gonna say S. I will say S tier. I do think she's S tier. Her I think they reverted back her, what's it called, her defense matrix cooldown. It's pretty insane. She can protect her team extremely well. She's also very mobile, so she's a pretty rare tank where she can easily peel back for your team. I think that's incredible. And the fact is, now that there's one less shield, I think her bomb does get quite a bit of value. I've seen D.Va players get usually a bit more picks with it. I think she could be very good. However, like, you know, obviously, I mean, if she gets DMEC, then, I mean, I'm not even going to count that, but I think she's pretty good. Her tighter weapon spread makes her very damage up close, and she has this annoying thing where even if she hits you one time, she could pretty much take away the support's abilities to heal themselves for 15 a second. She could pretty much stop you completely from doing that. All right. So who else I want to talk about? Pharah. Actually, let's talk about Brig. I think Brig is pretty good. I think she's pretty good. She got her 150 burst. She's still a pretty good bodyguard, I'd say. Her damage is pretty nice. And if you really know how to do the barrier dance, if you really know how to work that barrier, I think she has very good survivability. I think her what's it called? Her barrier is pretty good. Her ultimate still very strong. Her inspire AoE healing still very good. She could still fight off a flank. Like, if you get flanked, if people flank you flank a Brig, you can still fight them off, especially if your secondary support helps you. If your second support helps, I think Brig is pretty good. I like Brig. Pharah. This one's a hard choice. I haven't seen too much of her, so I'm just gonna put her in B tier. Sim. I've seen one Sim. I think Sim is very map specific. Again, she's pretty map specific on you know, point maps. I think she can be very good. She just has to kind of get close to people in order to do damage. Her barrier is still very good. The fact is that it's a 5v5 now. People just aren't as butched up. It can be very hard to place your turrets in the right place for her to be useful. Her ult, like I said, is still good. Her secondary fire is, like I said, it can be hard to hit. It can be dangerous for you to be up close with her primary fire. Oh no, I think this is my list. I think this would be my list I'd say on the tier list. Some interchangeable heroes, like I said, if you wanted to, Lucio could so this is one version of the tier list. If you wanted to make some more adjustments, you could easily make the argument that Lucio is S. You could make the argument Lucio is S tier. You could easily make the argument that Genji is A tier. You can make the argument that, like I said, I don't know where Sig gets placed. You could make the argument he's definitely high. You could definitely make the argument he's higher. You could probably make the argument that he's lower, but from what I have experienced, I can't stress this enough. I really can't. This is what I've experienced. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Since I'm an Ana player, since I play Ana, you know what? I'm not even going to use the argument that if you don't play Genji. This is from my personal experience. Yes, I will say Genji is A tier. My Genji typically nano blades with me. So, you know what? I do think Genji is A tier just because I simply play Ana a lot. I mean, all I need the Genji to do is simply get one pick. If he gets one pick or two, that's incredible. And for what I played, Genji typically gets 2 picks for me. So, you know what? I'm going to keep Genji up in the A tier. I know a lot of people think he's B tier, but I don't know. From what I played, I play a lot of Ana during this beta. I like the fact I like Genji's. I think Genji's actually pretty good. If you actually wanted to also, you could also make the case maybe Soldering could be B tier, but I do quite frankly think she is A tier. I do think she's A tier. Some changes that I would like. So now I want to talk about some potential changes they can do. So the first one I really want to talk about is Roadhog. Roadhog definitely, I feel like, needs some help. I feel like one thing that they can do is surrounding his heal ability. So the thing is, he could get debuffed extremely easily. He could get stunned, slept, antied, booped around. He could get booped out of cover. He gets hacked. He could get discorded. He gets burnt. He gets hit by everything. So I think what he should be allowed to do is his heal ability. You could either add both of these or just one of these, but when he heals himself, he should be able to cleanse any effect. He should be able to cleanse all effects. So that will help him stay alive longer. And maybe if you want to, again, for the second buff, maybe allow him to also heal himself, like when he's healing himself, maybe for like the first second or so, like maybe 1.5 seconds, 1 to 1.5 seconds, he should be allowed to be immune to all forms of debuffing and all forms of CC, so he can essentially get this off. This allows any good Roadhog player, like this really allows you to, like, really makes you think of your positioning as Roadhog now, because if you're not positioned well, you still can get countered, but if you are positioned very well, you can very much stay alive. I think that could help Hog quite a bit, because like I said, every other tank in the game just has something that can help, that can block him. I think he does have something. Like, he just doesn't have anything like the other tanks. Soldier, I feel like definitely needs some changes. I mean, well, not definitely. I think everything just worked well. But if you wanted a potential nerf for him, maybe make his sprint ability. You can make his sprint ability something along the lines of... sorry guys, hold on a minute. I'll just rewatch. Soldier right here, what you could do to buff or nerf him is maybe make his sprint ability on a cooldown, because he could use this ability anytime he wants. He could use it to reposition, he could use it to escape, he could do some nasty left-right jiggling that makes him very difficult to hit. So I think that could definitely be changed to kind of help to kind of tone him down a little bit. Moira, I think Moira, what you could do with Moira is just kind of lower her damage or lower her self-healing from her primary fire, or maybe just take that away take it away in general. Like, she has so much survivability that it's actually crazy. She has so much survivability in this game, and her coalescence, like I said, is just very good. I think these two can stay the way they are. Lucio, I actually do think he could stay the way he is too. So these two, I think, could use a little bit of nerfing. This guy could definitely use some help. Now, this one, I know Zen, like I said, I know Zen is not, like, let me tell you, we're doing like, the way I'm placed Zen in C tier is I averaged him. If I want, like, if worst case scenario, honestly, you could easily make the case he's D tier. I would not run Zen. This dude can be this guy can be dead weight if you don't babysit him, but at the same time, he could be S tier. I don't think I don't really particularly think it's his fault for buffs and nerfs. I don't think it's his fault. I think that the way the game changed, it just doesn't favor Zen. DPSs just get to go rampant. They don't get, it can be very difficult to stop them. So he just gets harassed. He could just get harassed. But what I think they can do for changes is that I've actually come up with a few abilities that could actually help him. So ability, and it kind of goes with his character, is that he can have like a burst thing, like he can have like an energy pulse ability, to where if you activate it, it gives him 100 burst healing, and it pushes the target away while doing a little bit of damage, and it can heal your teammates around you for about 30 seconds. I feel like this will allow him to stay alive. It will give him a chance to, it will give an initial 50 damage towards the enemy, so they'll get hit a little bit, so he could hit 2 body shots or 1 headshot on like flank, so I feel like that could definitely help him with flankers. If you don't want to give him all that entire heal ability, I have 2 different variations of it. So one, you could give him like a Discord wave, where if he does this pulse ability with this Discord orb, he creates a field around him that slows people down. It does a little bit of damage, and it could either it could slow people down in it. It does damage over time, and it allows him to do damage, but he doesn't get the healing. And after it, Discord Orb should be on cooldown for like 3 to 5 seconds. I feel like that would be a nice ability. Or with his heal wave, is the same thing, but it just doesn't get to, it just knocks people back and does no damage, but he still gets the burst healing for himself for 100, and he heals surrounding teammates for 30 to 50. I feel like he needs something to protect himself, because every support has it. I think he needs quite a bit of help to protect himself. I do think he needs quite some help to protect himself. And yeah, that's honestly probably, I don't think I really see another change that I would like to make. I don't think I see another change. Like I said, you could I did come up with ways how this list could be interchangeable, but all in all, that's my tier list for Overwatch 2. Like I said, this is only the first week. It's only for the first week. This could easily change. I don't know if any busts and nerfs came around. So, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will be definitely posting more later this week. I'm done with my finals, guys. I'm super excited. Bye, guys.